Nicholson. And at forward, number 40, Perry Bradford. The coach of the Panthers, Clark Godfrey. We'll have the opening tip in just 1 minute.
What do I do with this? Take it back across the floor with you. You leave it? Hey, you guys run back and forth. I gotta take this.
Welcome to the University of Utah Special Events Center, and now the Tournament of Champions championship game between the Davis Darts and the West High Panthers. Davis averaging 80 or 64 points a game. Their highest has been 87 points. West averaging 65 points a game. Their highest has been 106 against Carbon in a preseason game. Okay, it'll be 6'11". Spencer Christensen jumping against Dean Hunger at 6'5". The tip is easily controlled by West to Scott Runya, who has been called and has demonstrated he's the best guard in the state of Utah. Marshall is starting tonight. He did not start in last night's game. He has a hemorrhaged bruise on his left thigh. Runya with the ball. Runya double teamed, and a foul is called in the double team on either number 12 or 10. Arnell picks up his foul. Neil Hansey joining us right now for color commentary. Into Marshall. Man-to-man being played by Davis.
And Davis will stay with the man-to-man, Bill, for the most part.
A block by Hunger on the attempt by Nicholson draws a foul from Hunger. And
Hunger,
that is his first.
Excuse me, Bill. Hunger actually had the ball cleanly. The official ruling that he got him with the body down below. Interesting matchups all the way through this basketball game. The junior Hunger against the junior Christensen inside, and Scott Starkey, who's very quick, working on Scott Runya outside. We're going to have a lot of fun.
There's the first point of the ball game. The first point of the first Tournament of Champions ever in the state of Utah. The first time that the High School Activities Association has allowed the 4 state champions, 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A, to play off for what they call a mythical state champion. Runya comes up with a big steal in the lane. In the forecourt to Bradford, he drives.
I think that's the one thing Davis is really going to have to worry about. They're not going to be able to run with this West Ball Club, I don't think.
Okay, West High now with a 4-point lead, 4-0. Frazier gives the ball to Arnell. Arnell tries a 19-footer. Rebound, Spencer Christensen. Outlet to Marshall. A lob to Bradford. He's strong on the drive when he gets going. He also moved the pivot foot on his drive.
And he was really going to drive hard. He raised the pivot foot back and forth and walked on the play.
Okay, in backcourt for the Davis Darts, number 12 is Mark Arnell, the state high school 3A champion quarterback, all-stater, and Scott Starkey with the ball right now, number 10, looking inside for Hunger, who is number 42. Gives it off to Frazier. Frazier back, and Arnell scores the first 2.
That's what Arnell does best. He not only quarterbacks the club, but he scores well from outside. Got 19 last night.
He's the playmaker of the year for Davis High School. Marshall is the playmaker of the year for West High School. Bradford from outside.
Perry Bradford, who's had just a couple of great weeks for West High. He's continually hit that shot last week and this.
He had 18 points in the state 4A championship game with Skyline. Lob inside to Hunger. And Dean Hunger with a 21-point average gets his first 2, and it's 6-4, a 2-point lead for West. Marshall down early. He's got an easy 15-footer. And the rebound goes to Spencer Christensen, the biggest high school basketball player in the state of Utah, and he has his first 2. He's 6'11", just a junior. He's got huge hands.
Say nothing about his feet.
Hunger driving. Rebound picked up by Davis, and finally Nicholson gets it, and he is fouled. Fouled by number 44, Tony Frazier, and that's his first, but the third for the Davis Darts.
Davis High, who have had just a great year. They've won the football, the basketball, they won the speech today. They're just moving through everything.
Dick Stevenson, the principal at Davis, pretty happy. There's a 22-footer by Scott Runya.
You're going to see a lot of that tonight. I mean the screen that's going to be set on Scott Starkey as Runya tries to get the shot out.
That's a 6-point lead now, the widest margin. West High leading by 6. Underneath to Hunger, reverse layup. Dean Hunger has 4, and it's 10-6, a 4-point lead for the Panthers. And Bradford does drive. And the foul is charged to
Scott Mantier, number 24. He was trying to get position inside and draw the offensive foul, but he didn't get there and get it established.
Scott Montier draws the foul. That is number 4 on Davis, the first on Montier. Spencer Christensen to Bradford. To Runya from 24. Rebound taken by Starkey. Scott Starkey with a 6'2" average. He's just a junior. Starkey is a baseball player. In fact, 11 of the 15 players for Davis High School are baseball players. Jump ball.
Jump ball on a good defensive play by Dave Nicholson.
Goes inside to Montier to Hunger. Dean Hunger is just a junior. He just turned 16 years old.
Davis making some fine passes over the top to get Hunger those easy shots.
He's got 6 points and leading scorer in a ball game. Marshall almost missed that one. Spencer Christian doesn't shoot from out there. Marshall gets a screen from Christensen and gets 2 more. Steve Marshall now has 4 points, and it's 14-8. Back to that 6-point lead for West High School. Arnell to Montier. Goes inside to Hunger. It's stolen away by Nicholson. And a great feed to Marshall, and Marshall is fouled on the drive. Fouled by Arnell. That is number 2 on Mark Arnell, number 5 on Davis. The bonus in effect now for West High School. And at the line, Steve Marshall will be shooting, I guess fouled in the act of shooting, will be shooting a pair. He is.
I was talking to Coach Clark Godfrey about who he was going to start in this particular ball game, and he says, we'll go with the Bataan Death March. Marshall will start.
He did not start last night's first game of this Mythical State High School Basketball Championship Tournament.
No, but when he came in the game, he got a driving layup down the middle when West was in the ball control game. It turned out to be a very big 2 points for West against Cedar City.
But he played almost the whole second half last night. Misses both of them. And the rebound taken down by Tony Frazier, All-State fullback and lanebacker from West High School. Arnell gives it off to Starkey. Starkey to the wingman Montier. Lob to Hunger, and it's Hunger again.
The Darks are going over the top and having good success getting the ball to their big center.
14-10, a 4-point lead for the Panthers. Marshall off the glass, and Marshall now has 6 points in the ball game, and it's 16-10, back to that 6-point lead for the Panthers. Scott Starkey. You mentioned Starkey is also a baseball player. Good move by Hunger. Missed the shot, and the rebound goes to Marshall. Runya lost it. Starkey picks it up. A turnover against Runya. You don't see that happen very often.
You don't see him lose control like that out in the open floor.
Starkey back to Montier. Montier reverse turn around the back of the iron. A whistle before the shot. And I believe it's on Bradford. It is. That's Bradford's first personal foul. In fact, that's the first foul on West High School. And with the ball, Montier inbounds to Arnell. To Hunger, and a foul. Another foul on West High, and I believe it's on the big kid.
Foul
Spencer Christensen.
He pushed off as Hunger tried to go out to get the ball and come a little deeper, and he pushed him off.
Okay, Davis will have the ball. Montier into Arnell. To Hunger, working outside. Baseline, Starkey. And the rebound to Bradford. Into forecourt to Marshall. Spencer Christensen. Blocked by Hunger, and he's got the rebound. 6'5" against 6'11". Hunger from 19.
Young man showing an awful lot here in the early going. One of the fine juniors in the state.
2 minutes and 32 seconds. 16-12. West leading by 4. Bradford doesn't even draw iron. Frazier grabs the ball. We're still in the first quarter. Montier from 14. And the rebound goes to Runya. He's got the fast break with Bradford. Strong. Missed the shot. And Starkey has got the rebound. 2 minutes, 9 seconds remaining in the first period. 16 for West. Inside to Hunger. The hook shot. Rebound goes to Spencer. 4-point lead. 16-12. A little bit of run and chase him right now. Back from one end of the floor to the other. Runya trying to get the pick. Arnell made a switch and picked him up. Goes back to Marshall. Arnell switches and goes back to Marshall. Marshall from 18. Arnell has the rebound. Trying to come out of the pack. He's fouled by Marshall. That's the first on Marshall, the third on West High School.
That time you saw Scott Runia tried to come around a screen. Jay Starkey was picked off in the screen, but Mark Arnell picked him up very quickly, and it worked out well. For the Davis starts.
Okay, that is the third team foul on West High School. Still a common foul. So Davis brings the ball down into the attack area. Montier underneath to Hunger, and Hunger trying to go, came down on top of Nicholson, and the ball went out of bounds, and they'll just give it to West. I don't know what to call.
I think you could have had a pretty good choice either way.
Scott Runya with the ball. Runya has 2 in the game so far. In the 4A champion, he knocked Starkey down, no whistle.
Starkey does an awful lot of acting on that particular play, Bill. He may lay down a lot tonight.
Bradford to Nicholson, Nicholson from 10. Rebound, but for whistle and a foul going for the ball, and I believe the foul is on Frazier.
It's going to be Tony Frazier who's going to pick it up.
That's his second. That is the 6th on Davis, and the bonus situation definitely in effect, and Nicholson will be at the line. He's 2 for 2 from the foul line, a 65% foul shooter, and he'll be shooting 1 and 1.
Did you ever hear of officials giving awards to coaches?
No.
That happened tonight. Utah basketball officials gave 4 awards, and we'll talk about it a little more later on.
Missed the shot. Arnell has the outlet, and he's double-teamed. Starkey to Montier. Hunger cutting inside, gets the pass, shooting over Christensen. Doesn't even draw iron. Nicholson takes it out of the air. Bradford with it right now. And Marshall. Little traveling by Spencer Christensen. He wanted to make his pivot, but Dean Hunger was in the way. This Dean Hunger is 6'5", we mentioned is just a junior. He'll be back next year. He also just turned 16 years old. Stanley coming in now, replacing Spencer Christensen.
I think we might have a little sandbagging going on the part of both coaches. We know that Spencer Christensen is bigger than the 6'9" they listed at, and I'm betting Hunger he's an awful big 6'5", if that's what he is.
A couple of the high school coaches thought he was 6'7". A couple of the college recruiting coaches. Nicholson draws the foul. That's his first. That's the 4th on West High School, and Davis will have the ball under their own basket. Trailing by 4, 46 seconds left to go in the first period. Almost hit Frazier all alone underneath, but the quick hands of Nicholson knocked it out of bounds, so it belongs to Davis with 44 seconds left to go in the first period. On the scoreboard, it'll read light and dark. Light, of course, is West High School. Dark is Davis. On the scoreboard on the floor, it reads Utah and visitors. The tip is up and good by Hunger. He's got 12 points in the first quarter, and it's 16-14, a 2-point ball game. 28 seconds left to play. Bradford with the ball. Davis in a man-to-man. But they might be paying special attention to Runya. Now a little delay game going for the last shot. 11 seconds. Bradford can drive. Lost the ball on the drive. Hunger has got it. Got it right back to Runya. Scott Runya stole the ball from Hunger, and he's got 4 points. Dean Hunger tries a last-second shot. Is it good? It's not good at the buzzer. So at the end of the first quarter, the score is West 18, Davis 14. Okay, we start the second quarter of action with a 4-point lead held by the West High Panthers, 18-14. And West will also be in the bonus, whereas Davis has got to have West commit one more foul and they go in the bonus. So the next foul, both teams will be in the bonus, no question. Hunger against Spencer. And Runya saves it from going out of bounds.
Does he come out of nowhere? Some kind of player.
Starkey gets the rebound, tipped to him by number 20, who has come in, Ron Adams, a 6'3" junior for Davis High School. Montier gives it off to Hunger. He lost it going up, and he lost it because somebody fouled him.
And that somebody was Barry Bradford, who had a hand across both forearms, and you don't go very far with the ball that way.
Hunger scored all but 2 of the points for Davis High in that first quarter. He had 12.
He's doing it with good inside moves. He's getting the ball and making his move very quickly. He's not hesitating and letting Christensen intimidate him at all.
He's got 13 points and the leading scorer on the floor. Dean Hunger, 6'5", according to his coach, junior, 16 years old. Misses it, and Nicholson gets the rebound. Goes to Bradford. To Runya. Marshall Quarterback against quarterback. That's Marshall and Arnell. To Runya. Montier tries to stop Bradford. Bradford's 20-footer doesn't go, and Arnell has the rebound. Davis bringing the ball down quick. Starkey back out to Arnell. Arnell from 23.
Bombs away. Mark Arnell cranks up, and Scott Runya trying to get to him.
And it's a one-point ball game, 18-17. Runya reversing on Starkey, going to Marshall as he was double-teamed. And Spencer Christensen and Hunger fighting for the rebound, and Christensen knocked it out of bounds.
Ruben Soto going to come in now. Perry Bradford going to take a breather, and Soto is one of those really quick kids too for West.
I can see he puts his wrists on the floor when he touches his toes. He's really lied. Three-guard offense, and they've gone into a zone with the three guards out. Soto, Marshall in the middle, and Runya on the other wing. Davis has had success getting the ball inside to Hunger. The zone is to stop that.
That's a good pass. Good play.
Ron Adams, his first two. He averages 4 through the season. He's just a junior. And the lead goes to Davis for the first time tonight, 19-18. And Runya gets it back.
Scott Runya made a fine move, a change of pace dribble and a reverse pivot, and he just had Starkey flat-footed.
And that's the first bucket or point for West in the second quarter. 20-19, a one-point lead. Arnell from the corner. Nicholson with a rebound. To Runya. Into forecourt to Soto. Marshall from the corner. And Adams has the rebound. He gives it to Arnell. 20-19. Davis trails by 1. Starkey. The corner to Arnell. Inside to Hunger, knocked out of bounds by Marshall. Double teaming Hunger right now with Spencer behind him and Christensen behind him. Spencer Christensen and Mike Marshall are one of the guards dropping off in front. Comes into Hunger. He's got an 8-footer. When I say he's got an 8-footer, he's got it, huh?
He really got it right through the bottom, and he had a couple of people around him then.
15 points for Dean Hunger. Spencer Christensen's hook. And a fight for the rebound. A foul over Adams going over the back.
This Dave Nicholson, who's at the free throw line for West now, has been one of the fine rebounders we've watched in the last couple of weeks. He's kind of an unsung hero. He has a tendency to get in foul trouble occasionally, but he really battles on the boards, and he had great position on the offensive end of the floor that time.
Say he's only 6'3", but he does get the rebounds by getting good position. 1-on-1 situation for Nicholson. He's hit 2 out of 3. 2 out of 4, but Spencer Christensen. Hunger with the rebound. He's got the big sweeping hook for a 6'11". They're just not falling tonight. Montier inside to Hunger, a 4-footer.
He's made every kind of shot there is.
17 points for Hunger, and it's 23-20.
At that time, Scott Starkey over in the corner, as we told you earlier, tries to press with the body, and he drew a foul as Runya beat him on the baseline, came around him. Perry Bradford back in for West. Mark Stanley coming in for West. Nicholson and Marshall will go out and take a rest.
Runya will be at the line. First time tonight. He's an 82% foul shooter, 54% for the season from the field, and he's shooting 1-on-1. He's got 6 points so far tonight. The 4A championship game, which we televised, he had 34.
What a fine young man and what a fine player. Makes it great to be around high school basketball. We've met an awful lot of fine young gentlemen on all of these teams.
He cuts the lead by Davis to 1. Davis led by 3 before Runya went to the line, and that's their widest margin of the game. Arnell. They're back to a man-to-man. To the weak side, Starkey. To Montier. Gets in there, and it's stuffed on him by Stanley, but Stanley also got part of the wrist.
I think West staying in that 1-2-2 jug, but they're trying to pressure the ball outside to keep the guards from having any opportunity to get the ball in deep. And Scott Montier, number 24, going to the line for Davis in the gold uniform, can penetrate on the dribble, and he did that time.
He's 6'2", and he's only a junior. He's also a football player. 60% foul shooter.
There are only 3 seniors on this Davis team. Arnell, Eric Johnson, a reserve, and Tony Frazier.
Montier gets the second one. He's got his first point of the night. It's a 2-point lead for Davis, 24-22. Runya outside to Stanley. He leaves it for Bradford.
Oh.
To Runya. 22-footer by Runya. Looked a little force. Rebound foul. Stanley was going up, and Adams went under him, and they called the foul, I believe, on Adams.
Have to wait and see how this
They called it on Stanley, I think.
It went on Mark Stanley, apparently, because they're coming down the other end of the floor with the ball.
Okay, time is called with 4 minutes and 44 seconds left in the second quarter. And Davis High School, the Davis Darts, the 3A champions, have a 2-point lead, 24-22. And that is I believe, the second foul on Ron Adams. You know, tomorrow afternoon at 2, Billie Jean King provides some sound advice for tennis enthusiasts at every level. It's a great chance to get your game in shape. Tennis for everyone. Billie Jean King, Sunday at 2, right here on Channel 2. And tonight you're watching the championship game of the Tournament of Champions. First time ever in the state of Utah. There'll be no losers in this tournament because they're not going to award a state championship overall trophy.
No, I think the idea is a pretty good one, Bill. We've seen, and while some of the coaches might have been apprehensive about it and figured they had a lot to lose and nothing to gain, let me tell you that these players have come in here very intense both nights, and we have seen not just two fine teams like Davis and West, but Kanab and Cedar, and that was a heck of a ball game that preceded this one, a 77-74 basketball game. And Cedar was fortunate to beat Kanab, who had a fine team.
The foul did go to Mark Stanley. That's his second. That is the 7th on West High School. And at the line is Ron Adams, a 68% foul shooter for the season. He has 2 points tonight. If he hits these, he can hit his season average of 4. Also a football player. He's got 3. One more, and he has his average.
Ron Adams, who really is not that much of a shooter, but he does rebound and he does play defense.
Almost tipped in by Hunger. Hunger's second shot is not good. He's working for a 6'5" guy against a 6'11" like he is 6'7". Marshall with the ball. To Spencer Christensen. Whoa! Good move. He's got 4.
Hunger was looking for him to come around the other way,
That's
which
right.
He has been doing, and he reversed and got the bucket.
Instead of going left, he went right with a right-handed shot.
West in a 2-1-2 zone.
Arnell gets his own rebound and takes it inside. Gets it back again. Hunger won't fall. Marshall with the rebound, outlet to Runya. To Bradford, who really comes down that outside lane.
And Scott Runya with a great pass. He threw it right by one of his teammates and laid it right to Bradford on the dead run.
26 all. The ball game is tied for the first time tonight. Hunger intended to receive that ball, but Spencer Christian got a hand on it and took it away. Montier with a rebound for the Darts. Score is tied. Nope, they've changed it. It's 26-25. West by 1. Wow, Adams doing a great job rebounding and tipping it in.
And that's what he's in there for, to go to the boards.
A 1-point lead for the Davis Darts, the 3A champions. 27-26. Spencer Christensen is stuffed by Hunger. Blocks the shot. No whistle.
And he's 6'5", huh?
Stuffed or rejected. I'd say he's 6'7".
I think so.
Adams. Still that zone.
Bad pass.
Eric Johnson in the lineup right now, and Eric Johnson, the guy who made the pass. Number 22. He's a 6'2" senior. And he's working on Runya right now. Runs into a big block in Spencer Christensen, and Runya is all alone, and he picks it up. He's got 10.
And I think Scott Runya is going to have an easier time working against Eric Johnson than he did against Starkey. Starkey's a little quicker. Stay right with him.
28-27, a 1-point lead for the 4A champion, West High School. And now coming back in the lineup is number 23, Mark Stanley. And going out is Dave Nicholson. Davis with the ball to Montier. Back to Johnson. Hunger took it away from Bradford, but he got called for going over the back.
Dean Hunger, I don't know, he got up over the top, but he was leaning on Bradford, and Bradford, I think, given away 7 or 8 inches at least.
Well, Bradford is 6'1", and Hunger is 6'5". That's only 4.
Yeah, but you watch Dean Hunger walk by Perry Bradford, and he's giving away 7 or 8. I don't care how Mike Gardner measures him. He must put him in a hole.
Well, that's the second foul on Dean Hunger, and at the line is Perry Bradford shooting 1-1. Bradford now has 7 points in the ball game. His average for the season is 10, but in that state championship game, 4A, he had 18. Great outside shooting. He's got 8. And it's 30-27, a 3-point lead for West. Hunger that time had it blocked by Christensen. Marshall's got it. Gives it to Bradford. He's great on the reverse, too. Tremendously quick pivot for Perry Bradford. Spencer Christensen has it knocked away by Eric Johnson, but West gets it back. Marshall to Spencer Christensen, back to Marshall. Runya all along the weak side, a lob inside to Spencer. There's that right-handed follow-up by Runya, whistle and a foul.
And Scott Runya came off the weak side that time, got the inside position away from Eric Johnson, and Johnson fouled him on the rebound.
That's the 10th foul on the Davis Darts here in the first half. 1:42 remaining in the second quarter. And it's 30-27, a 3-point lead for the Panthers. Runya at the line is letter perfect tonight. He's hit 2 for 2. 3 for 3. He's got 11 points.
Picture perfect on his shooting action. You watch the hand and the wrist as he comes off that ball.
You'll notice that we are shooting the foul shooter off from an angle, and that is so we don't disturb a high school basketball player when he's standing at the foul line by shooting straight up the lane at him. It's a little consideration on the part of our television director. He feels that maybe in college or the pros there's a lot of maturity, but it could bother a high school player. Adams got the rebound and going driving inside is Johnson, and he picks up a foul from Stanley.
I think Spencer Christensen had the ball cleanly, but Stanley got a piece of the arm.
That'll put number 22, Eric Johnson, at the line.
And on the other side of the lane, a little bit of a war going on between Ron Adams and Perry Bradford.
Both pretty husky young men. Eric Johnson gets his first one. He's averaging 5.1 for the season. He was all-state safety on the Davis Dart Championship football team. Stanley with a rebound to Bradford to Runya. Marshall from 15.
That's early offense, and Mark Stanley's going to get called again for climbing up the back of Brian Adams, who had position.
If we're correct, that is the 4th personal foul on Mark Stanley. It is.
And Dave Nicholson gets up and comes right back in. And almost coming in was Clark Godfrey.
The coach of West High School. 1:17 left to play in the second quarter, 32-28. West High with a 4-point lead. And at the line, Ron Adams with a chance to cut that to 2. Adams has hit 1 out of 2, 50% from the line tonight, 68% for the season from the line. Bradford gets the rebound. Beautiful feed to Nicholson.
Scott Runya made the play. He put the pressure on down the middle and then kicked it off to Nicholson.
Arnell to Montier, inside to Hunger. Arnell from the corner. He must like that spot. Arnell has 6. 34-30, a 4-point lead for West High School. Bradford to Spencer Christensen. Nicholson.
And West right now controlling the boards as Nicholson gets the offensive rebound and is fouled by Ron Adams.
I thought Nicholson went over Adams' back to get the ball in the first place. He went up with a shot and Adams fouled him.
But you don't have a black and white shirt on.
Okay, number 32 coming in for Davis High School. And that is Glenn Toomer. He was the backup quarterback on the football team this year and will be the starting quarterback for Davis next year. He's a husky young man.
And he's not a bad shooter either. You get him open. Sometimes shot selection leaves a little bit to be desired, but he's a good shooter.
Nicholson from the line. Nicholson now has hit 3 out of 5 from the foul line. He's got 5 points, and that is his season average. Rebound Adams. To Arnell. 35-30. A 5-point lead for West High School. Arnell, a good little bit of ballet work by Bradford to get away from the contact. Arnell threw it away on the pass. So far, the first high school Mythical State Basketball Championship has gone the way of school size.
Right, Cedar beating Kanab in the first game 77-74, but it wasn't easy. They were tied with 2 minutes to play.
And then West beating Cedar in the first round, and Davis beating Kanab in the first round.
But all four are good teams.
I was very surprised. About 180 students or something at Kanab. Tremendous team.
They come up there with a bunch of fine young men that came to play basketball.
And, of course, they also won the state football championship 1A, and all the players in the team were football players.
Runia, last shot.
There's the end of the first half of play with the score, West High 35, Davis 30. Opens up with a shot. Dave Nicholson, he's got 7 points, and it is a 7-point lead, and that is the widest margin for West High School, 37-30. Arnell to Montier.
And West opens up in a 1-3-1 zone, trying to fill that middle against Hunger.
Al Fraser tried to stop the ball from going out of bounds, but it was out, so it's a turnover to West. Hunger was forced to put that shot up, banked it off too high, forced the shot too high off the glass. He's in tall timber in there with Spencer Christensen. Marshall throws a lob to Christensen, and look at that hook.
He got a switch off on the defensive assignment, just laid it up to Christensen. A good play by Marshall.
Okay, West High leads by 9, their widest margin. They've scored 2 field goals. Davis has not scored here in the third period. A lob to our Hunger is knocked away by Spencer and corralled by Steve Marshall. Marshall with that left thigh taped.
No good.
Hematoma. Traveling on Bradford, a turnover.
Barry Bradford hit the shot, but he walked to get where he wanted to go to take the shot. We've seen 3 different zone defenses from West. They went 1-2-2 and 2-3, and now it's a 1-3-1.
Okay, one thing we're seeing more this year than ever before in the state tournament is more coaching. I mean, the coaches are really doing the job. They're playing a game of chess. It used to be that, there's Montier breaking the ice for Davis High School. In the old days, 5 guys got out there and played.
He carried the ball, got it up on a high dribble, and so the Darks get a break, get a chance to get back in closer than 7.
That's the 2nd turnover in a row for Bradford.
There's Coach Godfrey.
He's a very emotional coach.
One fine guy, and there's a little story about last night that we ought to tell you if we get a chance later in the ball game.
Arnell inside to Hunger. He pivots and runs into both Nicholson and Spencer Christensen.
I think it's on Dave Nicholson.
It is. It's on Nicholson, and that is his 2nd. And that is the first for West High School here in the second half, and that'll put Hunger at the line. Leading score in the ball game was 17. Tell the story.
Hunger's at the line, but he's not going to shoot a free throw. They're running the out-of-bounds play.
That's right. It's the first foul, and he did not get the shot up. He just pivoted and ran into them. He wasn't fouled in the act of shooting. Montier traveled, they didn't call it. The tip by Fraser is good.
And Fraser gets his first 2.
Okay, both teams now have scored a pair of field goals, and the 5-point margin holds, and traveling called on Marshall. That's the 3rd time West has come down the floor and has been unable to get a shot off because of a turnover.
I got time to tell a story.
Okay.
There was a ruling made last night that Steve Marshall did not get a free throw off in 10 seconds. Consequently, Cedar City got the ball out of bounds. It was very close. The next time they came down the floor, Marshall was shooting a free throw again. Godfrey got up and said he was going to watch the clock and see how much time elapsed. Well, the clock doesn't run during free throws. He got a little excited.
Beautiful assist from Montier to Hunger. Hunger with 19 now. 39-36, a 3-point lead for the Panthers. Runya working on Starkey. Starkey is back on him, one-on-one. A lob to Spencer Christensen. He fakes Hunger out of the way, misses the shot. Nicholson gets it back. He really works hard. Montier with a rebound. I'll tell you, that Nicholson works under that board.
Another big offensive rebound for him.
Montier has the ball knocked away from behind, I believe by Runya or Bradford. It'll be Davis's ball into their own basket. Trailing now only by 3, 39-36. Out deep to Starkey. A lob inside to Hunger, but he got the ball too deep, couldn't lay it up.
Here comes Runya.
Marshall
Look at that play. And that one could have gone the other way just as easily. Mark Arnell drew the offensive foul, but it could have been called the other way, and that wipes out a great shot by Steve Marshall.
He said the bucket is good.
It's good?
He said the bucket is good by Marshall. That is his 8th point. It's now 41-36, back to the 5-point lead, but the foul is called on Marshall. Mark Arnell holding his position.
And again, we got a little delay. They're down there sweeping some ice off that came out of the stands at the west end of the Special Events Center.
Comes in from Montier to Arnell. 5:21 left in the 3rd period. Hey, I'm certainly happy we had a chance to show all of the playmakers in the state of Utah. Blocked by Spencer Christensen.
Christensen doing now, whoops.
A steal by Runya. Starkey tried to get the ball in with a bounce pass to Hunger, and it was stolen away. And Montier gets a body check foul.
And that one could have gone the other way, too. It's a matter of position on the floor that the officials have and just the way they see it. That's all there is to it. By the way, the officials, Richard Ball out here in front. You don't call him Dick. That's his dad's name. And Doug Toole underneath.
17-footer by Bradford. Good outside shooter. He's got 10. And it's 43-36, a 7-point lead again for the Panthers. Frazier has a block from behind by Marshall, but Hunger saved it, and he was fouled from behind, I believe, by Bradford.
Barry Bradford got caught in the squeeze that time, trying to get up and into the ball, and he couldn't get up with Hunger, and when Hunger came down, he was all over him.
Okay, that's the 3rd foul on Bradford, the 3rd on West High here in the 2nd half. Into Frazier. He's a 3.6 student, as well as being an all-state fullback. Arnell to Hunger. He lost the ball, and Nicholson takes it out of the air, trying to go against Spencer Christensen, and they throw it away.
That time, Steve Marshall just got a little too much on the pass. It was incomplete in the end zone.
The quarterback for West High, they went to the state championship final game, lost it to East, but Marshall was the quarterback. Now Arnell there, number 12 for Davis, was a quarterback for the Darts when they won the 3A championship. Spencer Christensen. He can hold that thing in one hand. Bradford, they let him go at 15.
Dave Nicholson.
Blocked by Hunger, and a foul is called on Hunger.
Looked like a good block up above. You couldn't tell down below.
Number 3 on Dean Hunger, tying his shoe right now. Young man is just 16 years old, just turned 16.
You know, there are just some super underclassmen in this state. When you look at him, and you look at Danny Brains,
Labrum at Highland,
and Scott Runia here at West, and Mark Arnell, gosh.
Kelly Gardner and Pinniger down at Provo.
Next year should really be something in this high school basketball.
They're all juniors except Danny Brains, and he's just a sophomore. Nicholson has hit 2 out of 6 from that foul line. He's missed 4. Now he's coming up with the 2nd shot and the 2-shot foul. He's got 7 points in the game, 2 above his average. He's got 8. And it's 44-36, an 8-point lead. Widest margin has been 9 by West High. Adams over the outstretched arm of Spencer Christensen. Ron Adams has 7 points in the game.
A violation of the end line down there. Nicholson stepped out, had the ball, let it go, and then Runia stepped out of bounds, came back in and got the ball. It'll be Davis ball.
That is the 7th turnover here in the 3rd period against the Panthers. And there's Clark Godfrey talking to the official.
And he is 3/4 court right in front of the Davis bench.
Davis with the ball. Montier comes into Starkey. Back outside to Arnell. He's looking for Hunger. He gets it to him. Hunger has the ball taken away by Spencer Christensen. He's just sitting there waiting for Hunger to make his move now. Runya from 19. Rebound, Hunger.
That means Hunger is going to have to make his move quicker.
Arnell penetrates well, misses the shot, and there's a whistle on the rebound.
It's going to be on Dean Hunger.
And that is number 4 on Hunger, number 3 on Davis.
That's going to put the Darts in real trouble. They don't have any other size on that bench.
Number 40 is coming in, and that is Stephen Criddle, a 6'2 sophomore. I don't believe he played in the 3A tournament. Time has been called by the Davis area.
And if they are to meet the demands estimated for 1978, Utah Power will need close to $1 billion in new plant construction. And since you're a customer, you have a right to know where Utah Power...
Official kidney.
Okay, in the Special Events Center with 3:27 remaining in the third period, and an 8-point lead for the West High Panthers, 44-38. And there were awards from the officials. The officials gave out sportsmanship awards.
The referees awarded coaches sportsmanship awards, and I think it's a tremendous gesture on their part. And we'll run down the winning coaches for you when we get a little bit of a break from this action.
Runya being hounded by Starkey. Got away from him momentarily. And Adams gets the rebound. Good rebounding by Adams. Montier coming down. Beats it underneath to the sophomore, Criddle.
Steve Criddle comes right in, goes deep, and gets two.
Sitting out is Dean Hunger, the leading scorer in the ballgame. Hunger is sitting on the bench with 19 points and 4 fouls. There's Runya working on Starkey. He's looking right at his middle. Gets a pick. Spencer Christensen gets the rebound.
And that's what size is going to do to the darts from here on in. Christensen wasn't even contested for the rebound and had 2 darts in front of it.
46-40, a 6-point lead for West High School. Arnell from 25. Runya all alone. Lead pass to Marshall. Inside to Bradford. Strong. Missed the shot, got his own rebound back, lost it, and Montier picked it up. Inside to Criddle. He didn't want to challenge Spencer Christensen.
That time he didn't go to the glass, and maybe he should have.
Montier underneath the Criddle, blocked from behind by Runya, but Adams puts it back in again.
And Christensen got caught out of position, and Clark Godfrey's talking to people about it on the far side.
Ron Adams with a 4-point average has got 9 tonight. It's 46-42, a 4-point lead for West. Bradford screens there for Runya. Gets a pick from Nicholson, and do they pick for Runya? Arnell had the rebound, knocked away, got it back. Goes right in the middle to 6 feet. Mark Arnell.
And Clark Godfrey is clear down at midcourt. He wants timeout as the darts come back within 2 without their big man.
46-44, a 2-point lead for the Panthers. Timeout called by West High School. And sitting on the bench is... Okay, time back in. Clark Godfrey very concerned. He was up to a 7-point lead, then to an 8-point lead. Then all of a sudden it was 44, I believe, to 36. And it's 46-44, a 10 straight points for the Davis Darts.
And they've done it without Dean Hunger in there.
8 straight points. Going inside to Spencer Christensen, and Criddle, the sophomore, gets called for the foul. He's 6'2", and what a job he's got with a 6'11" guy.
That's giving away just a whole bunch too much, and I'm sure Coach Godfrey over there on the West High bench told his Panthers, go inside. The big guy can reach over everybody.
That's the second time they've gone inside. Follow-up rebound by Nicholson, and boy, he really gets the garbage shots. He picks up everything that's loose around that basket.
Mike Gardner coming down to midcourt now. He wants to talk to his darts about boxing that guy off the boards. He's got a fistful of offensive rebounds.
Well, Criddle picked up his second personal foul quickly, and that is number 5 now on Davis. So the bonus situation for West High School, but Nicholson will be shooting a pair. Dave Nicholson has 9 points, and now he has hit 5 out of 9 from the foul line. He's been there an awful lot tonight. He's the most frequent visitor to the charity stripe. Got both of them. 10 points for Dave Nicholson. He's doubled his average. 48-44, 4-point lead for West High School. Montier to Adams. Adams tried to hit Criddle. I think it went off the arm of a West High Panther and out of bounds. It'll still belong to Davis. He was trying to hit Adams in deep. The tallest player out there now for
6'3", that's Ron Adams. And he's not the center. He's playing forward. The center is 6'2".
And the sophomore. And he's got a 6'11" junior on him. Arnell with the ball. He's going to have to be content to shoot from outside.
West now has gone man-to-man. They've come away from the zone since Hunger came out of the ballgame.
Spencer Christensen with a rebound. 43 seconds left to play in the third period. Bradford to Marshall. 48-44. Spencer Christensen just takes the hand and uses the wrist.
You don't really get the total impression from the camera angle, but he's towering over everybody.
50-44, a 6-point lead for West High School. Montier from 17. Having to shoot it from outside, Criddle gets the rebound inside, tries to go up, and the outstretched hands of Spencer Christensen blocks it. Criddle misses a layup, and
He
a
was
whistle and a foul.
I think it's Dave Nicholson that got him, and it wasn't the first time he put it up, it was the second.
Dave Nicholson picks up his third. That's the fourth for West High School, and that'll put the young sophomore Stephen Criddle at the line. And he'll be shooting a pair. Dean Hunger with 19 points is sitting on the bench with 4 personal fouls. Coach Mike Gardner of Davis is going to leave him out. No, he wasn't fouled in the act of shooting. I thought he was.
Apparently they ruled a tip is not a shot. Or he got him in between.
Bradford from 19. And that's the buzzer to end the third quarter of play with a score, West 50, Davis 44. The fourth and final period of the last high school basketball game for this season. The first tournament of champions. Hey, what about the referees giving the coaches sportsmanship
We've been trying to do this all night. Let's run through it quickly. In 1A, Ted Chittister at North Summit got the award. In 2A, Ken Hunt at Morgan. In 3A, one of my favorite people, Vic Smuin at Cypress, and watch his golf handicap. And in 4A, Brent Smith at Brighton, who will not be there next year.
Okay, the tip goes to Davis High School. Arnell checked off quickly, goes outside to Montier. Adams tried to go inside to Criddle. Stolen away, and Adams gets it back again. The biggest player on the floor for Davis at 6'3". Arnell to Adams, to Starkey. Starkey will fire from 18. That's his first 2 of the ball game. 50-46, a 4-point lead for West High School. Bradford to Marshall. And Marshall is fouled. Arnell got out of position and kind of went over the backside of him. Arnell picks up his 3rd personal foul of the game. That is the 6th in the second half for Davis. So at the line will be Steve Marshall.
Marshall, one of the fine athletes in the state. And Coach Clark Godfrey thinks enough of him as a person and as a player. But he'd like to have him around for another 3 or 4 years, not just for next year.
He's a junior. He shoots 88% from the line. He's playing with a tremendous thigh bruise that is hemorrhaging. And he's also the TV2 Playmaker of the Year for West High School.
Interesting to note, I think we've only got 1-2 seniors out there playing the game right now. These are underclassmen.
Arnell to Starkey. Back to Arnell.
West, nope, they're still man-to-man. I thought they might have gone to zone, but they're just switching off.
Adams to Montier. To Arnell. Arnell from 15, slightly off balance. Rebound, the 6'11", young junior. Bradford, and I think he had a little body contact from Starkey, but nothing was called.
And Starkey will do that to you.
Arnell. Rebound, Adams.
Ron Adams following up the shot on the offensive board, and the Darts are within 4.
And Adams has 11. Marshall to Bradford. That Bradford kid is built well, isn't he?
Well, you imagine these 2 teams could very well meet in the same thing next year.
That's true. Marshall penetrates, lobs it for Christensen.
Got a push off on Christensen. Yeah, he had a hand right in the middle of Mark Arnell's back. And as he went up, he just pushed away with the one hand, caught the ball with the other, but he got caught by referee Doug Toole.
That's only his 2nd personal foul of the game, but it puts Davis in the bonus now with 6 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in the game. Montier or Arnell. Arnell will be at the line.
Ruben Soto just came in, and Perry Bradford goes out. He's going to take a breather. That's for West.
Ruben Soto, Steve Marshall, and Scott Runya are the 3 guards for West High School. And with Marshall injured, Coach Godfrey was concerned if his guards got in foul trouble. Plus, when he likes to go into the freeze, he likes to use those 3 guards.
He certainly does, and he used them last night.
Arnell hits both of them. He's got 10 points, and it's 52-50, a 2-point ball game. And Starkey, I believe, is called for running over Soto.
Soto set the screen, and Starkey made him pay the price. He just ran right through him.
Number 2 on Starkey, and at the line, Ruben Soto.
I think Starkey's the smallest player out there, but he's one of the toughest. He's been wrapping people pretty good all night.
No, he's 5'10", and Soto's 5'9".
I stand them side by side, and they're pretty close.
Soto gets his first point of the night. 53-50, a 3-point lead for the Panthers.
Why is it the coaches put the short players down taller and the tall players down shorter?
Second shot by Ruben Soto. He has 2, 60% foul shooter, averaging 3 points a game. He's got 2 right now. 6 minutes, 6 seconds left to play in the first Tournament of Champions championship. Montier trying to work on Soto. Whoa, that's a tough shot.
That's one-on-one for Scott Montier, and he made it pay off.
4 points for Montier. A fall-away turnaround jumper, impossible to defend. Runya all the way around, gives it off to Marshall. Lob to Spencer Christensen. Somewhere along the line, that ball got held by somebody, and Spencer's upset.
Ron Adams got a hand on the ball, and I also think he got a piece of Christensen as he turned around. And Dean Hunger comes back in. Sophomore Steve Criddle goes out.
Okay, Christensen will be at the line, shooting 2, fouled in the act of shooting, and the leading scorer in the ball game, Dean Hunger, the 16-year-old junior at Davis High School, who's been sitting on the bench with 4 personal fouls, is back in with 5 minutes and 41 seconds to play. And the Darts trail only by 2, now by 3. Spencer Christensen, who is just a junior, and Coach Clark Godfrey said if he improves as much from now till his senior year, he'll be a super college prospect. Nicholson. Adams with a rebound. Has it knocked away by Nicholson and out of bounds.
I'll tell you this, if I were a college coach looking for a big man, it wouldn't hurt to pick him up and let him ripen himself for a year, because he's a young man too. He's not that old in age.
5 minutes and 31 seconds to play in a ball game. 3-point lead for West High. And Spencer Christensen gets the rebound to Runya. He puts it in gear. Baseline, Bradford. Rebound, Hunger, his first since he came back in the ball game. 55-52, West by 3.
West went back to the zone the minute Hunger came back in the ball game. They've gone 1-2-2.
Knocked it out of bounds. It'll still be Davis's ball, side court. 5:10 to play, down by 3. Montier throwing it in. Arnell from way outside hits the bottom of the well.
He pulled out the Kaysville cannon that time and really let it go.
1-point ball game, 55-54. Runya gets a pick from Spencer Christensen, but goes outside to Marshall instead. 15-footer by Runya. Rebound, Adams. What a job he has done rebounding. 1-point ball game, Davis has the ball. 20-footer by Arnell.
You tell me who the quarterback and the leader is out there, will you?
55-56, a 1-point lead for the Davis Darts.
Watch the screens come up for Scott Runia after this timeout.
Time has been called by West High School with 4 minutes and 28 seconds left to play. The Davis Darts have taken over the lead, 56-55. And the Davis Darts, the 3A state champions, have a 1-point lead. And West High has the ball.
And I'm almost betting the pattern you can pick right now is somebody's going to be setting the screen for Scott Runia. And I'd look forward to waiting the ball.
Okay, Runya throws it in to Soto. To Marshall. Out high is Spencer Christensen.
Here comes the screen.
It's a double screen.
That's going to be a foul on Marshall. He didn't get it set. He was still moving.
Marshall picks up his third personal foul of the game.
Did Runya make the shot?
Runya made the shot. It was a double screen. Spencer Christensen, Marshall setting it up at the top of the key. Davis leading by 1, in possession of the basketball. Arnell. Rebound, Montier. Tipped by Adams.
A left-handed tip reaching way back away, and Ron Adams got another one.
He has 13, and it's a 3-point lead for the Davis Darts.
Screen for Runia.
He's got Starkey. There's the pick. The shot is good. The foul is on Starkey.
And Starkey trying to fight his way through Soto that time, and I think Soto gave it a little bit of an act, but he still got hit. And there's Dick Ball, or Richard Ball, the referee, over in front of the scorer's table.
Soto says, me? Am I at the line? He says, yeah, the foul was on you. I mean, he hit you.
And he'll be shooting 1-1. West can get the lead back here. They're only trailing by 1.
That could be a 3-point play. Soto is 2 for 2 from the foul line. Arnell is asking about this screen and picking business with referee Richard Ball. Soto shooting 1-1. Can actually give West a 1-point lead. That could be a 4-point play. That screen and that shot.
A foul on Christensen. Spencer Christensen called for reaching over. So Hunger will come down the other end. And how quickly things can change. Hunger can make it a 3-point lead for Davis.
Hunger with 19 points, had 17 at halftime. Had only 2 points in the second half when he picked up his 4th personal foul. He sat out, came back in again, hasn't scored as yet. Christensen now has 3 personal fouls. 3 on Marshall, 4 on Stanley, 3 on Nicholson, 3 on Bradford. Dean Hunger with 20.
And I bet there are a lot of college coaches thinking there are a lot of these young men that maybe they'd like to pass up a year of high school and go to college right
Jerry
now.
Pym says they're hardship cases. They got to go right now. 21 points for Hunger, and it's a 3-point lead for Davis. 60-57. The 4A champion Panthers with the ball. Soto to Marshall. 3:45. Runya off of a screen. Spencer Christensen missed the shot, whistle, and a foul.
And who's it going to go on?
I believe it's on Starkey underneath.
Might be on Mountier. It's on Ron Adams.
Never saw him around the ball. Number 4 on Adams.
Maybe you didn't see him because he was trying to get from the inside out of Spencer Christensen.
Spencer Christian will be shooting 2. Fouled in the act of shooting. He has hit 1 out of 2 from the line. Well, he's hit 2 out of 3. He's got 12 points. His average is 13. 60-58. A 2-point ball game. Davis leading by 2. Adams again at the rebound to Arnell. 2-point ball game. Davis in control of the basketball and the scoreboard right now. Montier.
I'd almost anticipate that Davis would try and get West out of that zone.
Hunger, 23 points. 4-point lead for the Davis Darts, 61-58. Marshall to Christensen to Runya. Starkey staying with him. What a job Starkey's had.
That's going to be on Arnell. He was holding Marshall as he tried to drive.
That is number 4 on Arnell. And that'll put Marshall at the line. Now, watch how much time he takes to shoot his foul shots. And last night, one of the first times ever I've ever seen in prep basketball, he was called for the 10-second violation. After he gets the ball, he has 10 seconds to shoot it.
And that call really upset a lot of West High people, and it shook Steve Marshall up the next time he was shooting free throws. And I will say it did shake Coach Clark Godfrey up.
Rebound, Adams.
Now, you don't suppose Steve Marshall was thinking about last night when he walked to the line tonight.
That could psych a kid out. 62-58, a 4-point lead for the Darts.
And Davis going to go into 4 corners, try and get him out of the zone. Hunger traveled for it, got it down. My gosh.
A turnover against the Darts, and time is called by Clark Godfrey with 2:48 left to play. The score, Davis 62, West 58.
Good looking out.
Okay, 2 minutes, 48 seconds to play in this Tournament of Champions championship. Davis High School with a 4-point lead, 62-58. West in possession of the basketball. So far, all of these games in this first mythical tournament, traveling on Soto.
Soto in a hurry to get over and set the screen for Runia, dragged the pivot foot.
So far, all of the games in this mythical tournament have gone to the larger school. This one right now looks like it's Davis with 4 points and 2:35 to play.
And they're going to try and put it on ice. Do the same thing to West that West has done to other clubs last week and this week.
Starkey working with the ball. Trying to go into the freeze with a 4-point lead to Montier.
They're looking for the easy one, and he traveled.
Montier traveled before he passed off to Hunger. And that's because the presence of 6'11" Spencer Christensen.
Right, he knew he had to get the ball there in a hurry. He just forgot to put it on the floor one more time.
2:17 left to play. West down by 4. Runya with the ball. To Soto. To Runya. There's a screen set up, and Starkey ran into it again. And Starkey picks up, I think, his 4th, maybe his 5th foul.
It's got to be 5 on Scott Starkey, and that could be the fault of the other Davis player, not Starkey himself, not looking for the screen, but the other defensive man ought to be helping him out, talking to him and telling him that it's there.
Starkey is fouled out of the ball game with 2 minutes and 8 seconds to play. He fouls out with 2 points, but more importantly, he's done a super job on Runya. The only quarter he wasn't on Runya picked up 8 points. But the quarters he's been on him, he got 4, 0, and 2.
And you can bet the West's going to go to him now. Eric Johnson came in. He had him in the second quarter. But he'll come back in right now.
Eric Johnson, a 6'2" senior who is a all-state safety in football, also plays baseball, has got the job of guarding Scott Runya. And when he had it last time, Runya got 8 points. And Starkey has done just a super job on Runya in the first, third, and so far in the 4th quarter. He only has 2 points in the 4th. He didn't get any in the 3rd. Soto at the line. He's 2 out of 3 from the foul line. 2 out of 4.
That was a big opportunity missed by West High.
Adams outside to Arnell, the quarterback, to Montier. Montier dumps it off, and Spencer Christensen takes it. To Soto, to Runya, to Perry Bradford, back to Runya. Partially deflected. And Runya gets a foul call.
And he got it trying to hustle that basketball off the long rebound. Down at the other end, I think Montier showed just a little poor judgment. Took the ball inside when he shouldn't have.
Eric Johnson, number 22, who just came in the lineup, replacing Starkey, who fouled out, will be at the line shooting 1 and 1. A 4-point lead for the Davis Darts, leading 62 to 58. A 4-point lead for Davis.
And the Davis defense has done some kind of job on West here in the last quarter. They only have 1 field goal.
Eric Johnson comes through. He's got 2 points in the ball game, 2 for 3 from the foul line. Minute 43 to play, and that's the widest margin that Davis has had. 6 points.
Don't count West out. They've come back an awful lot of times.
Perry Bradford drives in, tries to put it up, and there is a foul.
It's going to be on Bradford or whom?
Hunger.
Hunger?
Hunger fouls out of the ball game. Dean Hunger.
Could have gone the other way. Bradford was coming into him. But there goes a young man getting a standing ovation, Dean Hunger, as he goes to the bench.
Hunger fouls out with 23 points in the ball game. A 6-point lead for the Davis Darts, their widest margin, 64-58. And Bradford will be at the line. 1:37 left to play. We've had 4 great games, I think, in this Mythical State Championship.
In terms of good basketball, it's been just that. It's been really a thrill a minute up here. I think Davis got out to the biggest lead of any team in the 4 games. They had Kanab last night by about 18, and Kanab came back within 5 or 6 and had a chance to win a ball game. So it's been that kind of basketball both nights.
Number 44, Tony Frazier, the All-State football player, is in, and we have some stuff on the floor. Bradford's shot is soft and good. He's got 11. And it's 64-59. We'd like to thank the Utah High School Activities Association for their cooperation in making this telecast possible. Bradford picked up the second one. Full court press put on by West. 64-60. 4-point lead for the Davis Darts. Montier zigzagging. Going back outside to Johnson to Arnell. Very self-possessed young man is Arnell.
That's going to go on Runya.
Foul on Runya.
And Runia trying to get to the basketball. He knew where the pass was going to go, but he got there at the same time as the ball and gets the foul.
Eric Johnson has hit 1 out of 2 each time he's been to the line. He's hit 2 out of 4. He's there again. We'd also like to thank KUED Television, University of Utah, for the fine job that they have done in the pickup of the State 4A game last week and the Tournament of Champions game tonight. Johnson, it's the first one. He's got 3.
Down to 120. And he did the same thing. 1 out of 2.
Makes the front end and misses the back end. Runya, minute 17 left to go. Runya from 23. In and out. The rebound goes to Frazier, and is he tied up or is it a foul? One official called a jump ball. The other official said jump ball.
We got a jump ball, and guess who was in there to tie it up?
Scott Runya, outstanding young man, tremendous dedication to the game of basketball, and works all the time he's on the floor.
Over on the other side, Mike Gardner, there you see him, both hands in his pockets. I think that's to keep him hitting somebody.
Well, that official I thought was going to call a foul, I think did call a foul. And the outside, Spencer Christensen. 14 points for Christensen. 65-62, a 3-point ball game. And Runya tried to steal the ball, stepped out of bounds.
Stepped on the baseline, and the Panthers are really scrapping. What a finish.
65-62, Davis by 3. 59 seconds left to play. It comes into Adams. Back to Johnson.
Travel
on Johnson. He tripped and fell. And nobody tripped him.
No, nobody hit him. He tried to shovel it off and just didn't get rid of it and dragged the foot.
54 seconds to play. A 3-point lead for Davis. And West High has the ball, and a time has been called by the Davis Darts with 54 seconds left to play. Davis 65, West 62.
Has tried to go deep to Spencer Christensen. Now Davis on the other end is going to have a 1-and-1. They can stretch it out to 5, but if Arnell misses, then we'll wait and see who the Panthers go to.
Arnell has not missed from the line so far tonight. He's 2 for 2 from the foul line, 70% shooter for the season.
You got to be a little bit excited about high school basketball with the 4 games that have been up here in the Special Events Center to cap off what has been just a tremendous high school season.
1-and-1 for Mark Arnell. He's got 15.
Dead center, never any doubt, and that puts the Darts out to 4.
66-62. Nicholson to Soto. And Johnson trying to keep the ball away from Runya, knocks it out of bounds. 40 seconds left on the scoreboard clock. A 4-point lead for Davis High School. West with the ball into Soto, looking for Runya. He's got him. Runya off the screen, hits it. 16 points. The greatest pressure player, I think, in the state, Scott Runya. Arnell spins around. He's a pretty good pressure player himself. To Johnson, 24 seconds, and a foul by Runya.
Really no choice in the matter. Had to foul somebody, and it wasn't going to be Arnell the way he split the strings with the first one. Eric Johnson has been 1 of 2 every time up at the line, and that might be a better choice. Well, let's have to wait and see.
He's been there 3 times. He's hit the front end and missed the back end all 3 times. 22 seconds left to play. 2 points separate the teams. There he hits the first one. He's got 4. And now the second one. Now it's a 3-point bulge for Davis. 67-64. 22 seconds left to play.
Again.
Did it again.
Travel. Christensen came down on top of Dave Nicholson, staggered him, and he walked with the ball.
And that could cost West High the game. 21 seconds left to go. 2 players fighting for the rebound. Comes into Adams. Adams to Arnell. They're going to stall right now with a 3-point lead.
Got a foul, got a timeout.
Time called by Davis with 16 seconds left to play. The score, the Davis Darts 67, the West Panthers 64.
And we're at that point in the ball game. Coach Clark Godfrey, at this time, probably doesn't really know what he wants them to do. They've got to have the basketball. They've got to pick out a Dart they can foul whom they may have some hope of him missing the first free throw so that Davis doesn't get 2 cracks at it and another point on the board. Davis leads by 3. If they get a man foul and miss the shot, they've got to apply enough defensive pressure so that West does not get an easy shot and still have some time left to foul again.
Okay, Davis will have the ball just right off of their bench at side court. And right now, Coach Mike Gardner working up a little strategy on what to do with the ball. West High would have had a good shot at tying the ball game up, but Nicholson and Christensen both came down with a rebound, and being competitors like they are, fought for it, not knowing who was with them, and traveled with the ball.
Okay, 16 seconds to wrap up a basketball season.
The Utah State High School basketball season ending tonight with this, the first ever Tournament of Champions. Montier will throw it in. Runyo will be on him. West is deployed in a man-to-man. Montier comes into Adams. And Adams is fouled.
Runya hooked him once and then hit him once, and he got caught for the first one.
Okay, that's the 4th personal foul on Runya, and that puts Ron Adams, a 6'3" junior, who is 1 for 3 from the foul line, at the line to shoot 1 and 1, with 14 seconds left to play.
Smart move on the part of Scott Runya. Only 2 seconds went off the clock.
Adams fires. Dead center. 14 points for Ron Adams, and what a game this young man has had.
He came off the bench for Tony Frazier early in the first half, and he's been filling in for Dean Hunger here in the second half.
68-64, 4-point lead for Davis. Second shot is short. Nicholson has the rebound. 12 seconds, 11, 10. Runya working on Johnson. Driving inside, all the way, forcing it up. Scoring, he's fouled.
And Davis applied the pressure, but Scott Runya was up to the task. Took it to the baseline, reverse layup, and scored. Now, West will be within 1 if Runya gets the free throw.
68-66, 5 seconds left to play. What are we going to do, asks Soto of Clark Godfrey.
Godfrey wants to get another player in the game, a man who does not have fouls, so that he can foul somebody on the inbounds pass.
Runya has 4, Spencer has 4, Nicholson has 4, Stanley 4. He's going to bring Spencer Christensen out. He wants some quickness in there. And the young man he sent in is number 12, Tom Kent, a 5'10" junior.
Runya banked it off. Holy cow. We're tied and it's going. We're going overtime, Willie.
Can you believe the tremendous basketball intelligence of one Scott Runya, a junior at West High School?
That ball couldn't have come off the rim any cleaner to him if there hadn't been anybody else on the floor. Came right to him, he went right back up with a jumper, and we're tied.
5 seconds left to go on the clock. He aimed right for the front rim, came back into his hand. He didn't even put it to the floor, went right back up, stuck it in. The 5 seconds ticked off, and it's a 68-68 tied ball game between the 4A and the 3A champions in the state of Utah, West High School and Davis High School. And look at the fans.
Let me tell you something. There are a lot of people sitting over on the other side from us who had put their coats on in anticipation of walking out, and the coats just came off.
A brilliant come-from-behind game by West High School, and we remind you to stay tuned. Immediately following the outcome of this game, we'll have Newswatch 2 on Channel 2.
You talk about the West High comeback. Look at the Darts. They were down by 8 earlier in the ball game, came back to hang in there, and they're still in it.
2 fine motion picture adventures are featured on Channel 2's Monday Night at the Movies. The special double feature bill stars Tim Matheson and Bo Hopkins in a modern adventure on the Mississippi River, The Runaway Barge, and also James Ferrantino and John Saxon in Crossfire, a story of a dramatic police infiltration plot. Monday at 7 on Channel 2. Ron Adams, 6'3", against Spencer Christensen, 6'11", the start of the overtime. It is tipped to Runya, who saves it from going out of bounds. Ends up in the Davis cheerleaders. Gets back on the floor quickly. Bradford from 15. Bradford with 14 points in the ball game. Arnell coming down. West High with a 2-point lead, 70-68. In one of the most brilliant executions I've ever seen, and it was done by a junior.
And
Bradford gives the body to Eric Johnson on the drive. Perry Bradford picks up number 4, according to my unofficial scoring.
And if Bradford can save a point here, Eric Johnson again at the free throw line. We said this so many times, makes the first one, misses the second one.
He's done
maybe a smart foul.
4 times in a row. There's the first one. Eric Johnson has got 5 points on 5 trips to the line. And now the second one. He broke the pattern. He's got 6 points now, over his average. The score is tied at 70 all. First time it was tied was 68 at the end of regulation play. Runya being hounded by Eric Johnson. Starkey fouled out on him. Runya again, 22 points.
Just unbelievable, the way he operates under pressure.
Arnell operates well under pressure, too, the quarterback for Davis High School. To Frazier. Frazier leaves it for Johnson to Montier. Montier goes in and stopped by Christensen.
Good block by the big guy, and Montier would have been smart to pull up and fake him.
Drops it off, back outside of Soto to Runya. West High leads by 2, 72-70.
And they're going to let the air out of the ball right now.
They haven't got Marshall in the game. He fouled out. No, Marshall didn't foul out. He's only got 3. He's out of the game.
He's in the dressing room, and that's where John Albert... No, he's right in front of the bench. There he is.
Waiting to come in.
Waiting to come in.
When they go into their version of 4 corners, they like to have Marshall in there. A steal attempted by Frazier, knocked it out of bounds.
Great effort by Tony Frazier. Left his man deep and came out and tried to swipe it. And the Darts take timeout.
Time has been called by Davis High School with 1:26 left to play. West 72, Davis 70. Okay, West High in possession of the basketball. 1:26 left to play. They have a 2-point lead, 72-70. 2 players have fouled out in regulation time for Davis, Starkey, and Hunger. Their number 1 defensive player on Runya, their number 1 offensive player. They've got Marshall in, West High has. They like to go into their own version of 4 corners. They use the 3 guards to weave. They keep the 2 big men, Spencer Christensen and Bradford, down deep. Marshall to Soto. Soto to Bradford. To Runya. Runya cross court to Marshall. To Soto. See how he got that ball away? He was flying to the floor. Montier fouls Marshall.
1 minute, 1 second left to go, and the Darts have to do that if they can't get the clean steal, and this may not be the man to foul. Of course, I don't know anybody out there right now for West who is not a pretty good free throw shooter.
Okay, Marshall has hit 2 out of 4. He's only hit 50% tonight, but he comes into the game with an 88% average. But he had that problem last night when he was called for going over 10 seconds.
He's taking enough time right now.
Marshall with 11 points in the ball game. 73-70. A 3-point lead for West High School. Remember, the news will follow immediately the end of this basketball game. 12 points for Steve Marshall. You know, they didn't want to have any losers when they proposed this Tournament of Champions, and I don't think there have been any losers. Davis playing super. A block by Spencer Christensen, and I believe a foul is called by him, and I don't believe he left his feet.
I don't think he left his feet. He had a hand on the ball. Referee Richard Ball indicating that he got him with the body, and it'll be Montier shooting 2. And here is what West does not want to do. They don't want to let Davis put points on the board with the clock stopped.
53 seconds left to play. A 4-point lead by West High School. Montier, a 60% foul shooter, has hit 1 for 2 from the line tonight. And he's a little upset with himself.
A little upset, and he looked a little tight in the shooting action on that one. He really never got it off.
Montier, a junior. Hunger, a junior. Starkey, a junior. Hits the second one. 5 points for Montier. 53 seconds, a 3-point lead for West High School. Inbounds to Runya. He just kind of hooks around somebody. Goes into forecourt to Christensen. To Soto. To Bradford. To Soto. Marshall.
44.
Marshall to Runya. Soto to Marshall. To Bradford. And Bradford is fouled.
35 seconds left.
Bradford fouled by Scott Montier. And Perry Bradford will be shooting 1-1. 74-71, a three-point lead, and time is called by Davis High School, with West leading by 3. Okay, Bradford at the line, shooting 1-1. Rebound Montier. 74-71, a three-point lead. Davis has the ball. They're down by 3. Montier goes all the way, misses it. Spencer Christensen with the rebound and the outlet. Runya going to delay it. Knocked out of bounds. 21 seconds left to play in the game. Montier really upset with himself.
He should have had that layup, and he really needed it very, very badly.
West High throwing it in. Deep to Marshall. A steal by Johnson, and a foul called by the official on Johnson. Number 2 on Johnson. That'll put Soto at the line. Soto has hit 2 out of 4. He's got 50% from the line. We have 17 seconds left to play in the game. West High leads by 3, 74-71. And the Utah High School Activities Association did not want to have losers in this tournament. And I think it's been nothing but winners. Kanab, Cedar City, and right now, West High and Davis High School.
I tell you, we've seen 4 fine basketball teams, and they played very intensely through this 2-day thing. I think it's good.
Soto now has 3 points in the ball game, all from the foul line, and West has a 4-point lead, 75-71, with 17 seconds left to play. And they were down by 2 with 5 seconds to play.
In regulation.
4 points for Soto. Arnell with the ball. Feeds Johnson. Rebound, Christensen has it torn from his hands out of bounds. It'll be given to Davis.
I think Richard Ball did not see the gold-shirted, or I can't say gold-clad hand that ripped that one out, but it was definitely Davis.
Adams lays it up and they let him. 16 points for Adams. A violation of the lane by West High School. A turnover to Davis with 3 seconds to play. A 3-point lead for West, 76-73. And what a costly turnover that could turn out to be. Godfrey calls timeout.
All West had to do, really, Rooney did not have to throw the ball in bounds. He could have stood out there and held it.
An outstanding cast, including Sir Ralph Richardson, Dame Edith Evans, and Orson Welles, contribute to this unique and fascinating special for the Easter season, Upon This Rock. See it Thursday at 7 on Channel 2. 3 seconds left to play. He didn't have to try to throw it in. And now Davis will have the ball. Down by 3, but they'll have the ball under their own basket. West High players come out of the huddle smiling.
And Godfrey is instructing his players. He doesn't want anybody down there by that Davis team at all. Let him throw it in and put it in the hole. The clock will run out.
He's talking to Runya. He's right down in front of the Davis bench talking to Runya. They just want the inbounds to come to Davis. Davis to put it up and score if they can, and then Klein will run out and they'll win by 1.
That's right. West will not have to touch the basketball. Davis will have to put it in to get the 2 points. What he was trying to do was back in and get a foul, and Davis did not get it, and West High wins it. Bill.
That's a great strategy on the part of both clubs. They had to have one man within defensive area, and that was Runya, and what he tried to do, Montier, was to back into him and draw the foul and shoot at the same time for a possibility of 3. He didn't do either one of them, so West High School wins the first Tournament of Champions championship game by a score of 76-74. Leading scorer in the ball game was Dean Hunger with 23 for the Davis Darts. Scott Runya had 22 for West High School. Outstanding. Running down West High, Soto with 4, Christensen 14, Bradford 14, Nicholson 10, Steve Marshall with 12. for Davis High School. Starkey fouled out with 2. Arnell finished with 15. Dean Hunger fouled out with 23. Scott Montier had 5. Tony Frazier 2. Ron Adams, a super game with 16. Eric Johnson had 6 points, all from the foul line. And that wraps it up. That concludes the first championship game in the Tournament of Champions. And you can see West High School taking down the basket. We'd like to thank KUED for the pickup here in the Special Event Center, the Utah High School Activities Association for their cooperation, and my partner, as always, Neil Hansen.
Bill, it's been a great 2 days, been a great week last week, and that's a fitting climax, that shot right there.
Stay tuned now for Newswatch 2 on Channel 2.